Pantasy has done it again. They sponsored another video and sent me 5 more building sets to review in this one. We have the retro food truck up first, which I think is going to be my favorite, but we'll see. They also sent a massive modular-esque bakery, and this is actually a remake of a previous bakery that they did, just kind of updated and upgraded a little bit, so I'm really excited to get into that one. Then the biggest surprise to me out of the box when I opened up what they had sent me was an officially licensed Kung Fu Panda set from Pantasy and DreamWorks here. So that was a huge surprise. Really excited about that one. Then we have kind of the low-key, as you'll find out. Maybe the best set actually here is the Gramophone. You might not believe it, but I actually think I'm really going to end up liking that one. And then finally, the retro 90s PC game, but this one's licensed with Paladin, like an old 90s PC game. So it's pretty interesting because we already did the retro 90s PC. This one just has a tie-in to a license. So later in the video, we'll compare this to the other retro 90s PC that Pantasy had sent me to see some of the similarities and differences. And then if you do end up wanting to buy any of these, they gave me the code MandRPanda. That'll get you 15% off of your purchase from their website and Amazon in the link down below. Let's get into it with the first set. Retro food truck. We're starting here with what might be my favorite set in the food truck. This one comes in with over 2,100 pieces and a price tag of just $80. Now, they said when designing this, they did a survey with a bunch of different color options, and the light blue and white won out. Honestly, I feel like it's the right color scheme. It looks incredible. We've also got a few small accessories included outside of the truck with a trash can, a little picnic bench, which is quite amazing, albeit a little bit large for figure scale, but it looks really, really good with a hamburger and ketchup on there. And then we have a little easel that says Pantasy Bar. I like it. It's printed, by the way. Everything on this set is going to be printed, so you'll see all these amazing detail pieces. None of them are stickers. Top of the truck has a vent and this little window piece that you can open up, I guess, to let more air in or out. And then this piece on the back can lift right up, which will give you very easy access to the full interior of the food truck. It's like really easy to get into. So on the customer-facing side of the truck, we have our little open sign. We've got our menu, which has a bunch of different food items and pricing for them. We've also got little condiments, napkins, the pick up here sign, which is nicely printed on a 2x2 tile, and a larger hamburger. This one has lettuce, a couple of hot dogs, and I think if we do it right, we can fold this in. I had it the wrong way, so it flips down, and then this closes, and I assume, I guess, to make it look really good, closed off, you're just gonna take these off. So that's what the side of the truck looks like if you close everything off, and you can see some of the advertising for the Pantasy fast food joint that we have here. Pretty dope. Really like all the different food art that they've done on the side there. Looking at the other side of the truck, we have more of that same beautiful artwork, and then if we pull this panel up, I believe there is the generator inside of here that you can actually pull out of the side of the truck. So that's a pretty dope generator. Reminds me of hurricane season, honestly, in Florida. There's also one large panel at the back, I suppose, so you could like dump dirty mop water out. I don't know what a food truck would use that for otherwise, but that in and of itself can open and close as you please. Also, the license plate is pretty cool. It's a P for Pantasy, and then it's got the set number 85011. Always love little touches like that. So the actual inside of this food truck is insanely detailed. There are more things in here than I could possibly talk about in this video. We've got a sink, we've got tons of little parts to a hamburger going together. I see the tomato, the lettuce, the cheese, and of course the actual patty. SpongeBob would be proud. There's a bunch of hot dogs on a shelf. We can see the condiments, the panini press. It looks like maybe a coffee maker. You've got eggs cooking up on the stove. It looks like French fries in a fryer maybe. It's got some onion rings as well. On top of the fridge, we've got a little microwave in there, which is like super dope. We also have the fridge in sand green, which is a great color for a fridge. A little retro-y to me. I'm gonna try to pull the fridge out. There's the microwave. You've probably seen up close already. The fridge isn't necessarily supposed to be removable, but I removed it because I wanted to see what's in the freezer. Okay, some carrots in the fridge. It's pretty dope though that they actually included like a openable fridge. Lastly, looking to the front of the food truck here, we've got a massive wheel and seat for the driver. When you turn the wheel, it actually does turn the wheels for the truck. It's pretty sick that it works like that. So you can turn it back the other way and the wheels will turn the other way, slowly but surely. There we go. That's a feature I've definitely seen on other building kits, and it's implemented pretty well here. Pretty cool part though is at this door here, we'll close it up, there's actually the cash register and some cash, some $10 bills there, paying for some of the food that they bought. So there's obviously pretty amazing detail all throughout this food truck set. Last thing that I liked on this one, obviously I pulled them off, the windshield wipers. It's pretty dang cool. So overall, I'm really pleased with it. It's a really nice model with an insane amount of detail for its price. So really happy with that. I think the worst thing about it is that this license plate thing on the back, I've probably knocked off 4 or 5 times while filming this part of the review. So that's the biggest downside to me, is this piece here just falls off a lot. Otherwise, really elegant model with a ton of detail that looks pretty dang good for a display. All right, so we are gonna roll out of the food truck and into the bakery. Here's the bakery. It retails for $100 and has over 2,500 pieces. It's essentially a modular, except it doesn't have the pieces that would connect it within the city, like if you have an existing like Lego modular city. So you would either have to modify that or just attach this in a different way. You'd have a little alleyway. So while there's no pins necessarily to just attach it, it still sits really nicely within a regular modular city. It just kind of depends on what you have going on, but this could definitely be a very unique building to add in there. On the first level, we have very simply a sky garden. There's some grass and little plants and trees up there. I really like the pebble rock walkway. And then we have some seagulls. Would have liked to see some prints on them. I know they obviously do a lot of other printed parts, but they seem a little bit devoid of detail. I didn't even notice back here we actually have the nest for the seagulls with a golden egg, which is pretty sick. But otherwise, the top of the roof is pretty normal, like little sunlight that can open and close if you want. Maybe a little ladder and little railing on the side of the roof. So pretty dope on the top of the roof, but we're gonna need to take this off. For reference, I have owned and built personally one Lego modular, which was the police station. That was a few years ago, so most of that is long gone in my head, but you know, we'll see if I see anything that's comparable, like that's worth talking about throughout this. So this floor here is the 3rd floor apartment. So we've got business news, we've got a little print for Pantasy, got a little working desk. The bed is a really nice build. I want to say in the A-frame cabin that we reviewed, they had a similar bed that I really liked. I think Pantasy does good beds. Holy bathroom. Yo, they have a clear door on their bathroom. I don't know about that. I don't know if I would live in this apartment with a clear door on the bathroom. Unless it's one of those fancy like clear doors where you can press a button and it like fogs up. That'd be really sick. But this is otherwise a really sick bathroom. Like for the size and what they've been able to cram in there. Nice toilet, got the toilet paper, little sink, like got all the details that you would want. That's pretty cool. You have the balcony here. Little doorway that leads out to the balcony, little cute little dog there, some chicken, some Mountain Dew, and some flowers. So the balcony is pretty sizable too. It's no slouch of a balcony. It gives you plenty of space to work with. Lastly, on this other side, little chair, little plant, printed wall art, and what I assume is a dresser / wardrobe. So plenty of detail in this. I mean, pretty good 3rd floor. And I always like when they give you plenty of open space, like they don't over cram it with stuff. So plenty of open space for characters to mill about within the 3rd floor apartment. Now, if you happen to live in that 3rd floor apartment, you can just pull the whole thing off, I guess, but you'd have to walk through the gym to get there because the next floor below is a gym. We got the punching bag, we got the stationary bike, got the treadmill, which actually has a printed thing. It's running at 3 kilometers per hour. We have some barbells, some dumbbells, and little weight stations. Little printed fitness tile, another one that says gym, and then the water station there. So the gym is also very nice and sizable. They even put little plates on the ground. I think that's what those extra gray pieces are there. Somewhat awkwardly, this door at the back doesn't open all the way, but hopefully it's open enough for what we'll assume are skinny people at the gym to slip through and get down the fire escape if they have to. So that's kind of funny. Inside of the gym, there's a nice railing that overlooks the cafe beneath it. I think that gives it a really nice open concept for the gym and really opens up the below floor. So if we pull this floor off, just like that, you can see that open area underneath there. And holy cafe, that is a floor if I have ever seen a floor. Look at that floor. And that bread. It's nice bread. So within the bakery, we've got a lot of stuff. We can actually pull this entire thing off and tons of different products on the shelf here. There's also a printed donut, little pretzel, cupcake, an actual piece of cake there, like really nice aisle essentially for the store or shelf. And so get that placed back on there. The actual bread is nicely placed inside. These are just really good simple bread pieces. I really like the color on those. Off to the other side, we have a little booth area where they're maybe eating a cupcake and coffee. We got a little window right next to the booth where you can see a little plant garden thing going on. Looks very nice. Whoa, okay, so the outside is a whole coffee design. Okay. And then this opens. Take-out windows here with some of the pricing for their different items. Let's see if it's ridiculous or not. $35 for a coffee? Are you kidding me? What? Wait, let me check the pricing on the other stuff. The menu inside has also ridiculous... Okay, I'm just going to rip these off so I can read the pricing. Obviously, it's like... But still, it's funny. This cafe wants $15 for a vanilla donut. 15. I can go to Dunkin' right now and get a donut for like $1.60. I guess it's like a specialty, you know, cafe in a big city is the idea. Let's get our food truck again real quick. They wanted $2.49 for a beer. $2.49. You can't buy a beer for $2.49 at any establishment. I don't know how they're losing money on that. The pricing at this place is crazy. These business owners are out of their minds. Hey, at least the actual set itself isn't priced like the items within the city, so that's a good thing. This is the kitchen over here. Yeah, the kitchen looks pretty cute. Got everything that you would want out of a kitchen. Pantasy does a really great job with their small, dense interiors like kitchens and things. I've noticed with it's the third video we've done with them. Their interiors are generally very nice. So briefly with the cityscape here, little sidewalk, little traffic light, really like the fountain, but I really think there is kind of one detail to this set that trumps everything for me, and it's on the back here. So we've got our drainage here that runs all the way from the roof down to the ground level, and you can actually see the water spilling out from the drain and going down the gutter where the cat is also, I guess, taking a sip of water. But I really love that. Fantastic detail, but maybe an even better detail. I don't think it looks as good, but it's really cool. We've got a vent here, and then just beneath that, it's dripping water. So you can see kind of the dirty water dripping onto the street below. Like, beautiful. On to the next one. Here we have the officially licensed Chinese New Year or Spring Festival Edition Kung Fu Panda set. I can't believe Pantasy is doing Kung Fu Panda. I was very surprised when I opened up the box and I saw a Kung Fu Panda set in there. This one isn't even released yet, but it is available for pre-order exclusively on Pantasy's website for $120, and it's got over 1,500 pieces. It's pretty cool looking. Now, it's got a lot going on, granted, but it's got a lot of fun details. So it is the Year of the Dragon. So at the very top, we've got a dragon, which is pretty sick looking, really nice build. A lot of translucent orange, I think, goes a long way on this one to making it look extra cool. It also does have some ball joints that allow you to pose it around a little bit. So if you want to look really high up in the sky or really right down at Mr. Kung Fu Panda, he can. He does also have printed eyeballs, which is pretty cool. Nice amount of detail there. It's also really cool that they built some exploding fireworks in behind them using some of the wand pieces, I think, with like the stars on the end to just, you know, extra pizzazz. Looking to the bottom, we actually have the tail for the dragon. Now, this is not like the best, strongest connection. It can pop off a little bit easy, but it still looks really cool. And obviously, as a display set, you don't really need to worry about something that might pop off easily. It's still attached well enough, I would say. And then there's a little bit more of the dragon over here. It's pretty strongly attached, as you can tell. You can't really pose it as well as some of the other things, with one of his claws here that you can pose ever so slightly as you please. So I really like that. And you have the back of the rock area here. We'll get into the more detailed front part in a second. But if you were curious, that's what it looks like. It's really bland. So Poe is wearing a really cool hat. It's got an extra like facial expression above the regular face here, which is printed and looks really cool. He's got a little O face going on. So in his one hand here, he's got a bunch of different foods, which looks incredible. Again, printed pieces, much like we saw with some of the food in some of our other sets. And if you want, you can actually remove this whole thing. You can just have an empty hand, or they include a lot more pieces to do like different hand things if you really want to, or different arm things. I can't remember. But as you can see here from the instructions, it's definitely something you can opt to do. I just think this looks way cooler than just having it blank. The piece they use for his stomach is like one massive piece, by the way. This thing is very large. It feels pretty cool, but it's different than really anything you've probably seen from a building set before, and certainly what I've seen from Pantasy. So it's pretty cool that they went the extra mile to make a piece that would look as good as possible for his body and stomach area. So I've released Poe from his stand there. You can see it's just that little pin that's going to hold him. He looks really good on his own. He's probably really not going to be able to stand or sit on his own. He really does need that piece to hold him up. But you can see all the design work there, how the back side is a little more brick built than this front side that they used that all-in-one molded piece for. So pretty nice looking character overall. Looking at some of the details here, we've got a printed pumpkin. We've got some printed fireworks. Those both look incredible. And then we have, I believe, what are supposed to be the New Year's envelopes, which they would give to family members and friends as a sign of good luck, I believe. Something to that effect. I'm not like incredibly well versed on Chinese New Year's traditions, but I believe that's what it is. So I think that looks really cool. And then finally we have this nice rock facade with a little waterfall at the back that really looks amazing. Like obviously this side was pretty blank, but that's because this side has all the detail, because this is the side that you would show off on display, and it does look really good. It kind of reminds me of some of the Monkey Kid kits, or one in particular, but I think it looks really, really good. Lastly, I need to talk about the base. It's very nicely decorated. It does use a sticker. Obviously, Pantasy, for as many things as possible, does prints, which is great, but in this case, they used a sticker, I believe because it needed to cross over a bunch of different pieces, and especially because it's like the official logo there, they probably didn't want to split it up onto different plates, so I get that, but yeah, there is a sticker there for people that want to know. When we were building this massive plate is what makes up the base. I forgot. That's really cool. Yeah, that thing's incredible. It's very odd, like very different, so it's just neat to see under there. Overall, I think it's a really nice set, and I can't wait to see what more they do with Kung Fu Panda, because I think it's a really nice license for them to have picked up. Like, this is a really neat thing, so hopefully we see more from it. This is the Gramophone. It's $54 and over 600 pieces. I feel very underdressed to be reviewing this. If I had a suit and tie handy, I would have put it on for this. This is the classiest set I've had in this room, and it's not even close. It's very elegant. The Pantasy logo is done in this very fine cursive that matches kind of the gold vibe that the rest of the set gives off. We also have the volume meter here, so 0 on the left, 100 on the right, and you can actually spin this piece here to change the volume. Now, it doesn't actually change the volume, but you can actually show a different volume if you want. Turn it off, turn it on, whatever you want. Really sick that you can even spin this thing to make that work. Like, that's really cool to me. That whole front face of it looks really neat. On this side, we have some different classical artists, which is really cool. I actually only knew 3 of them, but then I looked up the 4th one, and I've definitely heard some of his songs before. So if we start spinning this knob here, we'll go from Bach, we have Mozart, spin a little bit more, we have Chopin, who I hopefully pronounced correctly, and finally, we have the best of them all, Beethoven. Like, what a crazy idea to have that as part of the set. Like, that's really cool to me. I love that. Classy, just feels right, you know, for a set like this. Real quick before we show the top side, this is what the back side looks like. Maybe a couple air vents. I don't really know what a gramophone really needs as far as ventilation goes, but that's kind of what it looks like to me. The very back side here is pretty simple. You just have the gold pipes of the gramophone coming out and going up to the actual, like, speaker exit there. But on the very top here, we have our needle. We can move that away, because on our vinyl here, pop that off, we have Beethoven Symphony No. 8. I'm not going to try to read the rest. I don't know all of my music lingo. The other side is Beethoven Symphony No. 9, so it looks like a couple of different songs. By the way, this is a unique cut piece just for this set, I assume. I don't think I've seen this in any of their other sets or any other, like, building kits. It doesn't have, like, any studs or anything. By the way, very beautiful print on here. Looks great. Even has a good texture to it. You can literally feel the little ridges on each of the spots there. But Beethoven No. 9 here. So we'll pop that on. Put this piece on top. So I'll push the needle on down so that we can actually play our vinyl here, and we will spin this around. I don't know if I'm spinning it the right way, if the music is going backwards, but it's really cool that you can do that. I assume if you got a motor, you could motorize it. I don't happen to have one handy, but as far as like a nice working function, of course it's working all in unison with the musical artist down there spinning around, so I think that's even cooler about it. And this like spins really free and easy. It's not like there's a lot of friction going on here, so it's really easy to spin it. Can we talk about the gold? Because it's gold. It looks, dude, this is probably the best gold I've seen in a while. Like, it's nice looking. I don't know what else I would say about it. It just looks really good. Like, what else do you want me to say? They look kind of like flower petals to me, but I think I want to keep this set after. I don't keep all the sets that I review. This is a keeper to me. It's just so classy feeling. I could put this in my living room and it would feel right. I'm not sure though, because does it really match a PlayStation 5 and a modern TV? Like, I don't know. Last thing on this set, it's kind of like a hidden thing that's really cool. They have an entire lounge built into the side of this thing. So we've got a microphone, we've got another small version of the big gramophone built inside. We've got a very large Pantasy vinyl print at the back, and then a piano that happens to be playing Ode to Joy. So I was gonna actually give that a shot. The piano, by the way, great build. Let's go ahead and try this out. Oh yeah. Oh, the beat is bumping. Wow, that is a great song. The base of this thing looks really dead simple. Doesn't need to be anything special, but the feet are a little classy because they have gold on it too. So overall, I think this is a classy set. It's really nice. If you are into vinyl and like this kind of classic feel, this is definitely the set for you. Understandably, probably not everyone's vibe, but like for what it's supposed to be, I mean, this is fantastic to me. What an incredible set for 80 bucks. Like, knocked it out of the park. I mean, like, it's good. It's just good. I mean, it's just good. I don't know how else to wrap that up. I'm really surprised. I think I said the food truck one would be my favorite. I honestly think this is my favorite now. It's just so unique and special and different than, like, almost anything else I would get on any bit of a regular basis. So, this might be my keeper. This is fantastic. The final set here is the 90s retro PC, but with a tie-in from an old PC game called Paladin. I had never heard of it. You've probably never heard of it, but it's here, and there are some cool things with it. I just have a little quirk that I'll mention later on that I think just makes sense for most people that would be interested in this set anyway. So we'll get there. First off, we have the title screen. We've got the actual like computer screen. There's something cool with that we'll get to later when we actually insert it, so I'll save that for now. We also have the game cover here with the art, and then inside is the actual disc. So that's pretty cool, but just a small accessory that you get included. I almost forgot, this one sells for $100 with over 1,600 pieces. For it being a specific IP thing, having this type of keyboard with the extra special text and detail is phenomenal. Even though I know nothing about Paladin, it's really cool to see all of the different details on this keyboard. It looks like we have a little swan there, one on the other side, some different little foods or fruits and things. All of the text at the top is done in Chinese or Mandarin. Then we have the actual like English QWERTY keyboard below it. Like, pretty cool overall, like, extra detail that was included there. Same goes for the mouse pad. Not really the mouse. The mouse is the same normal mouse, but the mouse pad actually has some extra art there from the game as well, which is neat. And then we have our floppy disks, which I was told I need to scan. So let's get them over here. They're each supposed to do something different. That was the yellow one. Okay, I don't know what that means. What? Oh, wait. No, yeah, when I click, what did it do for you? Right. All right, each one's different. All right, we'll get the blue one next. Let's see. The blue one does. Maybe I need to hold my finger. Oh, okay. Is audio's on? Okay. Is it just a comic strip? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's like the concept of it.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's a really cool integration. And so we have one more here. Let's try it out. How am I supposed to tap that? No, it worked, I think. Ooh, it's loading. This is a really cool integration. Oh, is this a video from 1995? No way. So I think I need like some sort of music app to get this, but when I click this, it tells me the app's not available, so we're gonna not worry about that right now. Still, like, for the one that works, like, really cool integration to be able to see like concept art from the game or something. I'd love to see more things like this. I think this is a really good idea that can just be executed better later down the line. Oh yeah, these can be inserted into the actual thing. I forgot about that. So you just push that into the PC, and so you can actually have that inserted, and then when you want to eject it, you just push that button and you pull it right out. So pretty cool, like, just to have the QR code, but it's also like something you can integrate into the build, like, so it's multifaceted and works pretty well. Now, I think it's unavoidable. Popping out of the front of the PC is a bunch of characters from the game. Honestly, these silver swords are really, really nice. Really like that silver color. And there's a bunch of detail in behind there as well. I really like the hat hairpiece combo on the character with the green back there. I think that's really nice. It looks like there's a little bunny, a frog, and some bamboo hidden within. And then if we pull this piece off the front of the PC here, there's a couple of extra 1x6 tiles included. We can just place those on the front there, and then if we pull this top piece off, we can bring in our panel. So we have the option of like the home screen from the game, I think, and then of course the regular vintage 90s computer screen. You can actually see the game file there on the computer, and it's open and running. And what's pretty cool about this is I already reviewed a vintage 90s PC from Pantasy. So it's essentially the same design, just this one obviously has the game that this set is based on, and this one doesn't. And so I think that's a cool distinction between the two, something that makes this unique for that particular IP. We'll come back to the other PC, but I want to show on top here, it has this really cool detail where it looks like one of the characters is about to hit the other character with a pan over the head. I think it's also a good time to show how the Pantasy figures have pretty cool posability. They're a bit different than the Lego ones, so the arms can actually move out a bit, and they can actually be spun around at the waist. So a little bit different than to what you may be used to. They also have printing on the side, which is pretty nice. So decent detail there, although again, they're characters I know nothing about. Now, a really cool function on this is that you can pull this back panel, and you can actually spin this around and hide it completely within the PC. Like, and it works, like, frankly, flawlessly. Open it, bring it back up. or you can push it right back down and it's hidden away perfectly. I think, and there's still more detail to get to though, for 130 bucks, I believe the other one costs. It's just kind of the normal vintage PC, or 90s PC. You're better off just buying this one versus this one for 170 from Pantasy. Like I think this is the more sensible product. I'm a little bit confused why they sent this one when they sent me this one last time. So sorry, Pantasy, I don't understand. That's not to say this one isn't really cool if you really love Paladin, because there's even more inside of this thing. So we pull the whole panel off the top. There's a ton more detail inside. So this can actually be pulled on out, and you can get full access to a couple of the characters inside. Again, those silver swords, very nice. Nice card backing with some very good detail behind them. So I really like that. And then up front here, you can open up this panel. And again, you can do all of this with the top piece attached. You've got another character with her hair down. It looks like she's in her bathing suit and her shirt is on the ground there. I think that's the idea. And then another card backing is what adds that detail there. So I think that's really good there. So where this one really differs from the other PC, if we can bring this over, and why I think if you're really into the 90s PC, you should just go for the $130 one, is this actually has like the PC part stuff in it. And I reviewed this in my last Pantasy video, so you can go and see all the detail that's in here in that video, but it's frankly insane. And so if you're like a PC fanatic and that's what you want, I think this is the one you go for instead of trying to like make this the normal version like this, you know, because you still have a bunch of the extra accessories that aren't the normal version. So this one's cool. It's got a cool amount of detail and really, like, it's a nice set. I just don't care about Paladin, and I think that most people buying a 90s PC would want to opt for the regular PC anyway. So that's just my recommendation there if you were thinking about buying the vintage PC. So Pantasy has really impressed me here across the board. I would basically recommend buying any of these except for the Paladin PC, because if you're going to buy the Paladin PC, you should just buy the 90s PC that they sell. That's $40 cheaper, and I think just better because you don't have a bunch of stuff you might not want, and it just looks cleaner. It's a 90s PC through and through versus this one, which kind of you end up with some different stuff you might not want. The Gramophone was a real surprise, honestly. I thought I would think the Gramophone is lame. I'm that kind of person. It won me over. Like, it absolutely won me over, and I will absolutely be keeping this for my personal collection. Kind of like I kept you can see the 90s PC over there? I kept that one for my personal collection. I liked it so much, I had to put it on display. And honestly, this one might take its spot over there. It's got a real elegance to it. Kung Fu Panda, I think, is amazing that they're doing. I think it's going to open up a lot of potential for them in the future to do more Kung Fu Panda sets. I'd love to see some with actual, like, minifigures. Now, the bakery, I did not realize was a remake, like they said. You know, it's a remake of the previous version they did, and I think that they could have a pretty cool series of these modular-style buildings, because I think they do a really good job with interiors. Like, they are no slouches with that interior design work, so I think the bakery was fantastic. And honestly, the food truck almost ends up being an odd set out to me because it's so large feeling compared to the rest. Like, this fits within your city. This is a Kung Fu Panda. The PC fits, you know, in a nice square area, and same for the Gramophone. And then this is like this massive behemoth. But for $130, it's also an incredible value. So if it catches your eye, I think it's kind of worth the price. You can use code MandRPanda, get it, Panda, for 15% off with the link in the description below. Thank you again very much to Pantasy for sponsoring this video, sending me these sets for free to review. And it's always enjoyable to take a look at what else is out there, because it's just incredible to see the amount of printing that Pantasy does, the incredible gold pieces for the Gramophone that Pantasy does. Like, across the board, they're doing some good stuff here. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Again, thank you very much to Pantasy for sponsoring this one. You can check out my other two Pantasy videos on the end screen now.